Welcome class. Here we are going to start poem second of your course, Wind by Subramanya Bharati. Subramanya Bharati's full name is Chinnaswamy Subramaniam Bhartiyar. He was the great Indian poet, writer, journalist, Indian independence activist and social reformer from Tamil Nadu. He is popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati and a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry. In fact, he was one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all time. His fiery songs kindled patriotism and nationalism during the Indian independence movement. He was also remembered as the people's poet. So let's know about this poem. Welcome class. Here we are going to start poem second of your course, Wind by Subramanya Bharati. Subramanya Bharati's full name is Chinnaswamy Subramaniam Bhartiyar. He was the great Indian poet, writer, journalist, Indian independence activist and social reformer from Tamil Nadu. He is popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati and a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry. In fact, he was one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all time. His fiery songs kindled patriotism and nationalism during the Indian independence movement. He was also remembered as the people's poet. So let's know about this poem. See the poem. Here the poet says, when the wind blows strongly, it causes a lot of destruction. But we can make friendship with the wind. So let's see the way suggested by Subramaniam poet. See first stanza. Wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. So here the poet has personified the wind. He requests the wind not to blow so strongly because it breaks down the shutters of the window. Shutters stands for the hinges, panels used to close and open the windows. He said with your strong movement it creates a lot of damage and mess in his room as it break down the panels of the windows of his room, and it also scattered the papers here and there in his room, and it also throw down his favorite books from the shelf. So that's why it says that whenever you make the movement, it should be very soft and slow. Dear, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. So here the poet is scolding very badly to the rain, assuming it to be again some person, and accuses that what mess up it has created in his room. He said that it should see that how it has fallen down all his books from the shelf and torn the pages of the books, and only this all mess up should to bring the mere rain. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings, frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind God winnows and crushes them all. Here the poet speaks in a subdued tone to the wind and says that the wind makes only mischief with the things which are basically weak. So that's why it causes only damage to the things which are baseless. Frail crumbling. Frail stands for weak, crumbling that means broken, and rafters that means beam to support any building. So here in these lines, first of all, the poet criticizes the fast movement of the rain. It suggested that it should make the mild movement as it's fast blowing. All the doors, houses and the beams and all the wooden structure and all the weak people and their hearts, it got tear down. Because that means with the fast blowing of the wind, all the weak body structures and even the wind got winnows and crushes them all. Children, you know what is the meaning of the word winnowing? Winnowing is the process of sifting the grains with which the stones are separated out from the grain. So same thing the poet here says is done by the wind. So with the strong blowing, actually it is cleaning the path, the environment of the world. So all the weak structures, they are crushed and they are separated from the life. Otherwise, it means that whatever troubles they are coming in your life, you have to face them strongly. You should be firm and confront the difficulties with full confidence and determination. Means that the god of wind, it is not going to obey your order. If you say that you should blow slow, it is not going to listen to you. Its actions are controlled by itself. So, the poet suggests us that we should not wait that the other person would going to, means that we should build our homes on the strong foundation and ensure their doors should not easily penetrated and can easily be accessible to the strong blowing winds. Also, we have to train our bodies and the hearts to combat and face any troubles or any strong blow. It means that we have to make our body and mind strong. So then we will be able to combat any trouble and difficulty which are coming in our life. So we would never collapse if any struggle or any difficulty will come into our life. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So here the poet concludes the poem by saying that I feel you have understood about the coming of troubles and difficulties in your life because they are coming to test your strength. So we have to welcome. He says if you have understand this meaning, so you will understand and praise the coming of the strong wind. So that means we would start accepting the troubles because they are only the mean to make us physically and mentally strong. So here we get the message that those who are not determined and lack confidence, they always have to face failures, defeats. But those who are strong and set their targets and they make the sincere efforts, they always win the race of life. So I hope you have understood the poem. So with this we conclude. Thank you everyone. Now let's explore the literary devices used in this poem. First is anaphora. So anaphora, that means the words repeated in the continuation of the lines. So see the word dawn given in the second, third and fourth line. And then see 6, 7, 8 line. So here you word is repeated. So this is the use of anaphora in this poem. Next is personification. When you see the poet has put the life into inanimate objects. So that is the use of personification. Here you see the wind itself is personified by the poet. So see the word is given, you are very clever. So he is just making the sense that he is talking to the wind. Next is the device when you find some words or the phrases are repeated. So see the words crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters. So this is the use of the repetition. So next, the poetic device used here is symbolism. So symbolism, so here you see that the poet has symbolized wind as a challenge. So here the wind is symbolizing the challenges. Next device is symbolism. Symbolism is the device where an object, person or situation has another meaning than its literal meaning. So here the wind symbolizes the challenges of our life. The next one is alliteration, that you know, that means repetition of the same sound. See the words wind, winnows. So here V sound is repeated. So one thing more I want to share with you. So this poem is in the blank verse, okay, because there is no rhyme scheme. Hope you have all understood the literary devices. Thank you everyone.